Hello, Assalamualaikum, and good evening to all. Welcome to the class MGT7106 Digital Business and Entrepreneurship. So, how's everybody? Okay. I think some of their names are familiar.
From
Hi, Prof.
Yes, how's
How are
everybody?
you?
Okay. Okay. So, is this course a core course or elective course for you? Is it an elective course?
elective.
Oh, okay, very good. So meaning that you
Elective.
are very keen on entrepreneurship. Are you keen in entrepreneurship or are you keen on digital business? Which part are you looking at?
So,
Yeah, Kimi. Yeah, Rebecca, Tanasri, which part are you keen on? Digital business or entrepreneurship?
Digital business?
Digital business. Okay, this course is actually digital business and digital entrepreneurship. Not so much of digital business. I think more of digital entrepreneurship. We need an entrepreneurship course for any program. But this course looks into digital entrepreneurship. So I have put up assignments in the LMS assignments. There are group assignments and individual assignments. But I will not go through the assignment first. I think I will go through the course first. Yeah, I think I don't have to introduce myself. I think most of you know me. I'm Dr. I have TS in front of my name, which is not Tan Sri, which is technologist. I'm technologist Dr. Ahmad Shaharuddin Abdul Latif. Okay, I have an entrepreneurial background actually because I was when I started working since 88 to think sometime in 99. I was in the corporate sector in several listed companies and in banks. And then from 99 onwards, I started my own venture. I created my own business. And then until I think 2002, I don't, I mean, I'm in running my whole business. I resigned my employment and I was full-time entrepreneur until sometime in 2013, of which I started to work in University Malaysia Kelantan as a fellow. Back then, my business was still running. Then after a while, I don't have any project. I was a system integrator. And then in 2018 onwards, I joined Putra Business School as a lecturer. Okay, actually, I come from the business background. I developed search engine. I supply satellite phone. I supply video conferencing products. I do system integration and I develop web-based applications, digital libraries, and so on. So it is more of digital in nature. Yeah. Okay. So I'll move on to along the way. I think I'll start knowing you. Yeah, Lenaka, Nadiratul, Nur Asikin, Jen Yu. Some names are familiar. Mayuting, Jefferson, yeah, Akimi, Shu, Ivan Ko, yeah, Tanasri Rebecca. Okay, I'll move into the topic for today. I'll discuss, because we don't have much time, actually, we have 2 hours. Unlike the face-to-face, we have close to 4 hours. So I'll move into, where is my topic? I need to open it up. Hold on. Okay. The topic of this is the first topic. It is already in your LMS, but once you form a WhatsApp group, I'll just put it up in your WhatsApp group. Yeah, later. We'll talk about digital business and entrepreneurship. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, we are looking into how do you recognize opportunities and big ideas. Because this course is two portion. We will combine digital business and entrepreneurship. There is parts of digital business. There are parts of digital entrepreneurship. There is not much of textbook in this topic, so I write my own module. So it is still in process. Okay, what is digital business? So digital business is an adoption of digital technologies in the new and existing business activities. So how do you adopt digital technologies in new and existing activities? When you talk about innovation, two things that you need to look at. There are what we call sustaining innovation. I write here, sustaining innovation. Okay. And then there is another thing that we call disruptive innovation. So what is sustaining innovation? What is disruptive innovation? Anybody have any idea what is disruptive innovation? What is sustaining innovation? Jefferson, any idea?
Probably sustaining innovation is doing the same thing more efficiently, whereas disruptive is more about changing a whole model of an existing business or existing process.
Yes, very good. So sustaining innovation is actually you looking into the current technology and then you improve them. For example, we have the combustion engine, started from 4 valve, 8 valves, 12 valves, 16 valves, maybe we move into 24 valves. So we improve and improve and improve the same technology. A disruptive innovation would be like you have an electric car, so there is no combustion engine at all. Yeah, electric car. So it always goes. Disruptive innovation usually comes from somebody. Some other thing. Is usually a substitute or alternative, a substitute, and then it come in a way that it replace the whole thing. So we have, for example, like cameras that we improve and improve the cameras, film gaze cameras, and then suddenly we come with digital cameras and replace the whole thing. We have the whole telephony model based on Symbian, for example, like Nokia, Motorola, we have NEC. Suddenly we have computers that become telephony. You can have telephony in a small computer, we call it smartphone, and replace the whole thing. So digital business is actually how do you adopt these digital technologies in the new and existing activities. It can be in your existing activities or you can come into a new. Okay, Gartner define digital business as creation of new business digital that blurs the digital and physical worlds. So this is what Gartner defined. And then Sheffy is the book that I use. One book that I use is Sheffy. Digital business is similar to the term e-business coined by IBM. IBM coined the term e-business. Okay, and then IBM described this e-business as transformation of key business processes through the use of internet technology. So with internet technologies, we have key business processes. We use internet technology. That is become e-business. Okay. Now, digital business is much more than digital transformation. It is or business optimization or disruption, or integration or convergence of digital and physical business. So it's much more than that. Okay. Now I want to ask you one more thing. How do you differentiate e-commerce versus digital business? What is the difference between e-commerce and digital business? I can remove this. E-commerce versus digital business. How do you differentiate e-commerce versus digital business? Lenaka, any idea? No, anybody
No,
else?
doctor, this is the first time.
First time you heard of e-commerce or first time you heard of digital business?
First time digital business.
First time digital business. Anybody else have any idea what is the difference between e-commerce and digital business? Jason?
I guess e-commerce is like the business activity using the e-platform, while digital business is using the technology to add in your business.
Okay. It's like this. You listen very carefully. E-business, which one came first? E-business came first? Historically, which came first? Digital business or e-commerce came first? Yeah, Ivan.
E-commerce.
E-commerce came first. Yes, e-commerce. E-commerce is actually about selling and buying. It's about selling and buying. You are buying goods, so you go to the market, you buy goods physically. Now you buy the goods online. That is e-commerce. You're using electronic media. So that is e-commerce, electronic commerce. So it is about buying and selling. So e-commerce is about selling, buying and selling. But when you talk about digital business, it is beyond e-commerce. It is beyond e-commerce. It is about business processes. What involves business processes? Anybody? What is business processes? Yeah. Ivan, what is business process, Ivan?
I would say is like we try to digitalize those HR process and all that, right?
Okay, business processes is the activity, all activity in your business, the whole activity is business. What do you have in business? You have purchasing, of course, buying and selling goods. That is business processes. Production of material is a business processes. You employ staff, employment, hiring staff is business processes. And then you make payment is business processes. So what else? What else do you do? So in the whole company, everything is a business process. Every activity that you do in your business is called business processes. It's a business process. So when you compare e-commerce and digital business, e-commerce is just the front end, buying and selling. But digital business is everything. If you say you are doing 100% digital business, meaning that you assign workers, you hire workers online. The staff doing their work online. They deliver their work online. Production is online. Everything is online. That is a digital business. So you don't meaning that everything is done digital business. That is digital business. But e-commerce is a subset of digital business. E-commerce is the part that the transaction base where you deal with buying and selling. Yeah. So now we see what is digital business. When we're talking about the course that we teach today is actually about digital business. It's not e-commerce. E-commerce is just a small part of digital business. Digital business is beyond that. It's everything. So digital business is broader. It's a scope compared to electronic commerce. It's actually, it includes all aspects of the business, not confined to the commercial transaction. Yeah, e-commerce is just the commercial transaction of sellers and buyers. But this is what IBM defined as e-business. E-business and digital business is e-commerce. It's actually a digitally enabled commercial transaction between amongst organizations. That is e-commerce. But digital business is the term coined by IBM to the whole transaction, everything, processes within the organization involve information system, involve product under the control of the organization. So it is broader in terms of definition compared to the digital business. Yeah, that is compared to the e-commerce. Includes all business activities, servicing customer, collaborating with business partners, everything. So e-commerce is a subset of digital business. So now you are clear. When we are, because your assignment required you to propose or to improve a digital business, even your individual assignment is about digital business. It is not about e-commerce. Although it can be part of e-commerce. So your assignment, if you look at your assignment, it is about digital business, not about e-commerce. It can be e-commerce is subset, but it should be beyond e-commerce. Yeah. So e-commerce is just the commercial transaction between buyers and sellers. Yeah. So now we move into entrepreneur. So because this course combines digital business and digital and entrepreneurship, digital business and digital entrepreneur. The words I cannot spell, I cannot pronounce it. It is actually in French. The word on, that's why we don't call it entrepreneur, we call it entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is originated from the French word entreprendre. I'm not sure how to spell it. It's actually a French word. The term was first introduced by Richard Cantillon in his essay on the nature of commerce in 1755. So it comes from the French word entre, means between, and prendre is to take. So it is to undertake certain tasks. So to Cantillon, Richard Cantillon, entrepreneurs are economic agents. So they have foresight, they look into the future, they're willing to take opportunity to of realized and unrealized profit through the buying and selling activities. So say, for example, you buy goods from, the most simple thing is why we buy goods from a certain location, you bring the goods, transport them to a different location, and then you sell it off, and then you buy another group of goods from this position, the new location, and then you bring it over to the other location. So by just buying and selling, that is the earliest activities of entrepreneur. You can buy agricultural materials, commodities, and so on. So this is entrepreneurship. So prior to Cantillon, there was not much of economic theory. And then bear in mind that entrepreneurship is a special kind of management. It is in management, but it is a special kind of management. So, so the earlier part of prior to Cantillon, we have these mercantilist theories. Mercantilist theories motivated by self-interest in business. They did not produce a systematic approach to understand and describe nature of commerce. They say that a country should export their products to other countries, but not to import products from another country. So this is what we would talk about. This is what we say, zero-sum game. Zero-sum game, meaning that sellers always win, buyers always lose. That is the concept back then. Yeah. So, but today we don't have zero-sum game. We look into other concepts, the newer concepts. Yeah. So for this zero-sum game, mercantilists believe that selling goods to other countries will make them richer, and buying goods from other countries will make them poorer. So they will not buy goods from another country. They will always produce goods so that they can sell them. So zero-sum. They say if they sell, they make gain. The one buying will lose. So plus versus minus, positive versus negative, it always becomes zero. Okay, but we have newer concept like comparative advantage theory that we will learn later. So where it is better that countries to sell what they are best and buy what they are not good at. Yeah, so we'll move into that later. So this is before Cantillon. So Cantillon done analysis on labor and wage differentials. He highlighted the true cost of something, what we call intrinsic value, which is an opportunity cost. So he looked into mutual interdependence between economic classes. And then he acts as perceived arbitrage opportunities, buy products from the villages at lower price and sell them back to another location at higher price. Then he make gain. So he bear the risk. This is the term that we talk about entrepreneurship. Always the main term that we look into is uncertainty. So key term between I will cover later theory by Sarasvati, what we call it effectuation theory, is about uncertainty. Entrepreneurs deal with uncertainty, things that you don't know, things that you cannot plan for. So when you venture into new things, you don't know anything. You don't know whether you make a gain or not. Those who learn business analytics will learn, because this is the situation where there is uncertainty. You don't have knowledge. Yeah. So Cantillon described that under uncertainties, entrepreneurs use judgment without being able to foresee whether the product will give better price or not. So based on the supply and demand. So they look into, so they work on incentive based on the profit and loss framework, but they don't know. So eventually, the concept is that eventually it will restore the model to an equilibrium. So that they will go into Adam Smith's theory. Yeah. I'll write more detail in my notes here. Okay, and then we have, so Cantillon created a model of isolated estate with this model, and then this is isolated, meaning that it is other, what do you call it? Other things are not affected, the siloed, isolated. So they look into circular flow of goods, incomes, and expenditures, property between property owners, farmers, farm labor, entrepreneurs. So he draw what we call exchange and circulation. So this is where we talk about when you learn about economics, and I think everybody have, I think most of you learn economics, right? The Invisible Hand by Adam Smith. So from this is where the concept of invisible hand by Adam Smith come into play. In Adam Smith's invisible hand is about the supply curve and the demand curve, where eventually there will be price equilibrium, where the price where the supply meets the demand, and that at the equilibrium price, that is what we call invisible hand. So the model of this invisible hand by Adam Smith actually derived from Cantillon. Yeah. So, and then we talk about Adam Smith. Adam Smith did not elaborate much about entrepreneurship, but he looked into more into this specialization of labors to boost productivity, emphasize machine tools that flourish the society. So he don't term it as entrepreneurs, but he called them industry. So in his book, Wealth of Nations, he talked about industry and development should be encouraged. And then this is where market economy should be kept open and free. Yeah, so this Adam Smith. Those who learn economy will know that father economists is Adam Smith, and then Adam Smith talk about the supply curve and demand curve, where there is price equilibrium, and then there is an invisible hand. Eventually, it will be stable at a certain position. But actually, the idea came from Richard Cantillon. Before Richard Cantillon, not much theory of economy there are, except for some mercantilist theory. Then we have Alfred Marshall. So you talk about the fourth factor. So before Alfred Marshall, we have land, capital, and labor. So what the resources are comprised of land. You have capital, and then you have labor. And then Alfred Marshall include entrepreneurship, which is the fourth factor. Combined, it becomes how do we grow the society. And then John Baptist Say describe entrepreneurs as individuals with certain competencies, able to influence society, forming enterprise, influenced by the society to recognize the need, fulfill them through management of resources. And John Stuart Mill elaborated that entrepreneurships are the founding and prime mover of private enterprises. Yeah, so this is entrepreneurship, the history of entrepreneurship. And Carl Menger described entrepreneurs as change agent, transform goods and services according to knowledge that they possess, and then form goods into things that is more valuable. And then the concept that we apply today, most of the concept that we apply today on entrepreneurship come from Schumpeter. We call it Schumpeterian. Yeah, we call it today, most entrepreneurship are Schumpeterian. We talk about innovations. Entrepreneurs are economic change, agents of economic change, but they combine innovation for economic development. So you use innovation for economic development. Okay, this is comparing the normal management, where you plan, you do strategy, and so on. But entrepreneurship, when you talk about entrepreneur, we look into how do you apply innovation for the economic development. Of course, the other factors, the other concept that we have mentioned by Menger, Menger, John Baptist Say, Marshall, so are still true. Entrepreneurs are economic agent, a change of economic, it is agent of economic change. So it change, it develop something, produce something new, improve the economy, but they did it by, because Schumpeter comes about 1934. So you talk about innovation, key roles, innovation. But all in all, entrepreneurship deals with beginning what Catilda said is about uncertainty. So you have uncertainty, you look into innovation. How do you create or combine innovation so that you can improve the economy? So Israel Kirzner says entrepreneurs should put balance supply and demand by detecting market imperfections and exploit them. So due to their tolerance of uncertainty, again, it's about uncertainty. Uncertainty. With uncertainty, they are able to eliminate arbitrage opportunities, and then they can make gain out of it, exploit market imperfections and exploit them using innovation. So that's why when we talk about this course today, we look into digital business and entrepreneurship. So in entrepreneurship is how we look at innovation, how do we deal with opportunities, how do we deal with uncertainties, things that we don't know, and then we apply business, digital business. Digital business always relate to innovation. Yeah, so I hope you're clear where we are heading. Okay. So this is a general point where why people become entrepreneurs. Usually they desire to be their own boss. They pursue their own business ideas. They want to become financial rewards. But the key thing here, when you start a new venture, you have uncertainty. How do you deal with such uncertainty? You have opportunities. Usually, when you talk about technology, it's not much about problem solving. It's much more of opportunity. How we look into opportunity, how you look into new technology, and then how do you pick up opportunity? We look into more into disruptive technology compared to sustaining technology. We look into focus on disruptive technology. For example, like things that come in and change the game. We don't really look into the old games and then improving old games, but you look into opportunities, game changing, and then we look into innovation. So this is the topic that we have in this course. How do you deal with uncertainty? How do you capture opportunities? How do you use innovation? Call it disruptive innovation. Innovation. Okay, any questions so far? I hope everybody follows me. Yes, Sondos, Jefferson, Lenaka, Siti Mariam. Okay, I hope everyone have entrepreneurial mind. Look into things that we have, technology. For example, we have today, we have blockchain. What else? What things do we have? We have IoT, Internet of Things. Instead of doing the IP version 4, version 5, we have IP version 6. With IP version 6, we can allocate IP, Internet Protocol, to everything that we can see. And then with the IP address, we can communicate with them, and then we can automate. We can make them to automate. So we can have lighting that will switch on by itself, switch off by itself. We can have televisions that can, we have smart TV today, which is Android, Android based, which is a computer actually. So we look into how we can deliver disruptive solution, new solution beyond the normal, beyond the box, thinking out of the box. Yeah. So that is this digital entrepreneurship. Yeah. Okay, I'll clear this off, and then we move into how do you look into opportunities? How do you look at opportunities? There are basically 4 essential qualities that we can look into at opportunities. The opportunities must be attractive. Okay, this is an attractive thing. For example, blockchain. Okay, instead of using say blockchain for cryptocurrency, you can use blockchain for making wheels. You can use blockchain for trade financing. You can blockchain of documentation, documentary. Yeah, so this is attractive. So is it timely? So is the technology around and is everybody have access to the internet? That it is timely. Is it durable? How long will it last? So by the time you roll out, the technology is no longer there and everybody come in with a new technology. It is durable. And then it need to be anchored in the product, service or business that creates or adds value to its buyers. Because at the end, the customers are not buying products. The customers are buying value. Your customers are buying value. So you deliver value to the customer. The value must be attractive, the value must be timely, the value must be durable, and then the value is anchored in the product. So it adds value. Yeah, so these are the opportunities that you need to look at. All these are part in your group assignment, and also, yeah. And then how do you look into these opportunities? Yeah, to identify opportunities, you need to observe trends. You look at the stock market. You look into for example, like you're looking into people buying goods, for example. Okay, the trend of people buying certain food, people buying certain fashion, people buying certain electronic products. For example, like we have this stove or induction stove, for example, and so on. And then technology that comes in, maybe it is not used at the current in the current product or service, but you can look into other technologies and be deployed in a different setting, different product and service. So you can look at these trends. What are the trends? You observe the trends. Another way is you can solve a problem. Observing trends is about looking at opportunities. You look at opportunities, you look at trends, and then this is opportunities. And the other way is solving problem. You can always look into problem. Okay, how do you solve a problem? You don't have to confine yourself to sustaining technology. You can always look at disruptive technology, meaning that technology which is substitute to another or which has been deployed in a different setting. You can use it in a different situation to solve a problem. And then you can find gaps in the marketplace. In the marketplace, there is a gap. There is a underserved. For example, when you look into financial technology, usually we look into fintech, usually look into underserved, non-bankable. Yeah, so this product cannot be, so you can serve that. There is a gaps in the marketplace. So how do you observe trend? You look into opportunities that you can pursue. You look into economic forces. This is what we call SLAP, social, legal, economic, political, and trend, technology. So economic forces, you look into social forces, the trend people use today. We have social media, we have TikTok, we have Instagram. And so these are opportunities that you can look at. Technological advances, we have technologies that we have today. We have electric cars, but electric cars, we have problem with batteries. It doesn't last long, so you more difficult to find a place to charge the batteries. And then you look into what is the technological advances that you can grab opportunity. And political and regulatory changes, there is a new policy, maybe they want to introduce another tax or somehow. So how do you make, so you need to be aware of these changes, and then you look into opportunities that you can apply, you can use in pursuing, capturing this trend. Another way is, and economic forces, you look into the state of the economy, what is the disposable income, consumer spending pattern, and then social forces, you look into the demographic changes, what people think is in, social and cultural trend, technology advances, you look into new technologies, which is current, available now, and emerging technologies, or you can also look into new use of an old technology. This is an old technology. For example, we have facsimile, we have telex. Maybe we can use the old technology, but into a different situation, a new use for an old technology. And then we have political and regulatory change. So there is changes, there is new laws and regulation. We have cyber laws. Maybe they want to improve the Personal Data Protection Act. So there will be new laws. So how do you look into looking into it? You look into the opportunity gap. What's available and what's possible. And maybe you can have a brainstorming session, create a new business, products, service, ideas. So these are opportunities that you can develop new entrepreneurship. The other thing is solving a problem. So you notice a problem, you don't live with the problem, you find way how to solve it. So, but you can look into intuition, serendipity, chance, so that you can make produce solution for this problem. Yeah. So sometimes people just live with their problem, but we don't live with our problem. Okay. Whenever there is problem, there is opportunity. So how do you tackle the problem and produce a new opportunity with the existing technology? Yeah, so this is a second approach. The third approach is you look into opportunities that in the marketplace, underserved market. Yeah. Usually when we look into this disruptive technology, they actually started in providing solution to a small market, underserved market, and then it is cheap. Usually it's cheap. The larger companies doesn't look at it. For example, like there is a paper, it's a book by Innovator's Dilemma. Anybody read Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen? Read the book. Innovator's Dilemma. I'll write it here. Maybe by you can just try to get a digital copy how, and then you read this book. He's a professor. He has resigned. He was a professor in Harvard Business School. Okay, the word that he said that failure of companies to stay atop the reason, I can maybe put this, the reason better. The main reason for failures of companies to stay atop. These companies are like Nokia, Kodak, all those top companies. IBM is their good management. Okay, you can read about it and then find why is the main reason for failures of companies to stay atop is their good management. Good management cause failure. Yeah, anybody have any idea? Anybody have read this book? Jason, Co. Okay, you're learning management, you're doing MBA. Now people say, management, good management. Why are you learning? You're learning good management. We teach good management to our company. That is the reason for the companies to fail. Main reason for the companies to fail. You read this book, yeah, Innovator's Dilemma. He's a professor in Harvard. So the main reason for failure is a lot of top companies fail. I think he named a few. I have it here. He named quite a few, like say Sears. Maybe Sears is a hypermarket. Xerox, digital equipment, that digital equipment, IBM. IBM was sold to Lenovo. They only deal. Yeah, and then Prime, Wang, Hewlett Packard, Compaq, Nixdorf. So these top companies, the reason for their fail, the Silicon Graphics. People watch SGI, Silicon Graphic, Sun Microsystem, and then many more companies. You can you read their book. So the reason Kodak, Nokia. You mean they don't do good management? You mean to say these companies don't have good management? They don't apply good management. Kodak, Nokia, you look into their tiers, their management practices. They are professional managers. They are run by professional CEOs, but they fail. You look in. So the Professor Christensen did his research and then said the reason is because of good management. Because when you good management, you listen to their customers. The customer doesn't care of your business. The customer just care about what they want. And suddenly some company come in, provide solution, disrupt the whole thing. We call it disruptive innovation, and then the company gone. Okay, please read. Okay, then this is the differences between digital business and e-commerce. The digital business is just this sell side and buy side, yeah. But e-commerce, the e-commerce is just the sell side and buy side. But the digital business is everything, all the activities, intranet, everything activity. So yeah, in the business. Okay. Actually, we come to the end. We quite early. Okay. The question is, there is a forum here. Maybe we can have a short break, but instead of a break, can I give you a forum instead? Do you need a break or you need a forum? Or you need both? Yeah, let us vote. Do you want a forum or do you need a break? Or you can have both. During the break, you do a forum.
Both.
Both, eh? So during your break, I'll give you a break of 20 minutes. There is a forum there. So you discuss the forum. I break you into groups. There are 30 of you minus me, 30, 29. I break you into say 4 groups. You answer the question. Actually, the answer is behind. Okay, the question is, how do you identify? No, I don't have this. Okay, how do you identify the market for your business idea? How do you identify the market for your business idea? Share your thoughts. So we do a break, but you discuss. Anybody each bring into 4 groups. Leaders of the top groups, the 4 groups, just tell the idea that you have discussed, and then everybody write it in your forum. Right in your forum. There is a forum in your LMS forum, and then now they say I have to give marks to you. I have to give marks for your forum. Yeah, so you write and then I'll give marks to you okay. We are now at 8:43. Can we come back at 9:03? 9:05. Let's make it 9:05. Yeah, so I'll bring you into groups. Wait, how do I break into groups? Breakout rooms. I'll assign you to 4 breakout rooms, and then it is automatically. You just join the group. 9:05. We come back at 9:05. Okay, I think everyone is back. Okay, which group want to share first? Just one person of each group. Maybe what?
I'll go first.
Okay, please, Rebecca.
So we are from breakout room 3.
Group 3.
So we have identified 5 steps. So the first one is to define the idea itself. So that is including what is our business concept, what are the product or services that we're going to be offering, and of course what are the unique features that we are carrying in. So after that, we will need to research the industry. So when it comes to research the industry, we have to see what is the current business trend, what are the opportunities, what are the potential challenges the industry have overall. Second thing is we need to analyze our target customers, what's their preference, and what's the demand within the industry. And of course, we have to find assess the market potential in terms of the size, what are the growth prospect, and also what are the untapped segments. So that's number 2. Thirdly, it's the most important one, which is the identify competitors. So the competitors can be either both or also indirect competitors in the industry. And then from there, we perform a SWOT analysis. So this SWOT analysis, we evaluate our strength, what is our business idea strength, what is our weakness, what is the opportunity and threats. And when it comes to threats, we will perform the competitors' strength. So that's number 3. And also we consider customers' interests and identify the gaps in the market. And that's where we will our idea can excel. So last but not least is to plan and develop our business idea. So by outlining our business plan idea, we create a marketing plan. How can we reach to our target audience in terms of branding, advertising? And also, of course, we prepare a financial budget and projection, which involves how much will be the cost to operate, what is the revenue projection, and also the profitability.
Okay, very good, Rebecca. Okay, yeah, another group, next group. Which group? Group 1 or group 2?
Hi, Doctor. I'm
Yes.
from
Stephen, group 2.
Hi, Doctor. I'm from Group 2. So,
Yes.
actually, for us, our ideas are more or less as Rebecca's group. But then just to add on something lah. So the first thing our group members think is that it's important to understand our business idea. So in marketing, we learn about the 4 Ps, right? So the place, the product, price, as well as promotion. So that is, of course, very important before we start anything. But then I think more important instead of the 4 P is the SAVE approach. It's a newer approach, SAVE, meaning in terms in fact, I mean, instead of looking at the place, maybe we can look at the access. Like right now, we talk about digital business. So maybe we can go online or offline or both, all right? So access is important. Secondly, instead of product, maybe we can talk about solution. So we want to find a solution for customers instead of just offering them a product. Thirdly, instead of price, maybe we can talk about value. What kind of value, what kind of pain point are we solving for the customers? And last but not least, instead of promotion, maybe we can talk about education, more of like how we educate the consumers. So that's the first thing. We need to understand our business idea, whether it's working or not. Secondly, we also think that we need to do a market research in which in this market research, there are 3 analyses that I would like our team would like to do. First is the SWOT analysis, like what Rebecca has mentioned. Secondly, I think it's consumer analysis, which means we also need to understand what the customers need. We need to know their demographics. We need to know their psychographics. And last but not least, we need to do a competitor analysis. We need to know who are the ones who's competing with us. Like what Sun Tzu said, we need to know the enemy as well. Okay. So the third strategy that we're thinking is we need to do a market survey. So we need to test water as well. So because a plan is just a plan, so we need to do a survey. We need to ask the people. So it can come in a few forms. Maybe it can come in the way of questionnaires, or maybe it can come in the way of interviews. So we gather real life opinions from the market, and then we see whether it is really working or not, or it's just our own thinking. Last but not least, we will actually construct a market plan based on what we gather from the consumers. So from the market plan, of course, we will have customer segmentation. We will also do marketing plan, finance, and all that kind of thing. And then later on, we will have a proper market entry strategy. And this market entry strategy will focus on the step strategy that Prof mentioned just now. All right. I think this is the way that our group think. How are we going to market our idea, identify the market for our idea?
Okay, very good, Stephen. Next group 1 or group 4? Anybody from group 1?
Prof.
Yes.
Okay, Shakir from group 4.
Okay, please.
Okay, technically, as we've been discussed, how we're gonna select our market is based on our market research. So how we're doing this, we first identify our production line, what kind of our product is improving of which type of other product in the market, and or we identify that the product is solving what kind of customer problems been facing. From that, we can identify the customer segment based on the such information lah. And later on, we can narrow down the market segment based on aging segment and income segment to reduce competitiveness from other competitor lah. And by doing this, we're gonna use the SWOT analysis to more understand on the market. And this is another thing lah. The second point is I think rather than thinking of the market, maybe we need to understand more about our product. For example, if our product is, we need to understand the maybe the cost of building the product itself. So by understanding, for example, if the product is very expensive, by knowing this information, we now can understand that we can only sell it at a certain price, which can be affordable to certain people. Then that's how we identify our market. Like what Porsche, I think Porsche, they didn't do the commercial advertising just because the market segment is not there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the first group 1.
Hi, Prof.
Yes.
So from group 1, what we have discussed. So first of all, we are going to do some like market research. So we're gonna see like the trends. What's the industry trends? What is for example, like what kind of industry that currently doing well, or maybe what kind of problem that currently people have, or something that can be solved, to see if there is something like a new potential business that we can create, maybe like something unique to differentiate us from the others. And then we also going to do some research about our potential customer, identifies about the buyers, like do some research about the customers, and about the business. And then once we got to understand what kind of business or services that we are going to make, then we will analyze the cost, the estimation of the price as well, how it's going to be sold in the market. And then we are going to make some surveys as well to make sure it's aligned with what with our goals. And then we're also going to make a SWOT analysis as well to understand about the competitors, like how they are doing, how great they are, and how we can differentiate ourselves from them, how we can make our products better than them. And then we're going to make a market plan as well. And then also we are going to make like a beta version or samples before we launch the product. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Everyone is good. Actually, what you need to do next is actually, some of you may agree, may disagree with each of those presented. But anyway, you write it down in your forum. Everybody write it down in your forum. So I'll give you marks from there, and bonus marks. But anyway, in the I need to share with you what is in the slide. No, go back to the slide. Hold on. Get back to the slide. Okay, hold on. Okay, in the slide, this is what I have. The answer in my slide. Close this. Okay, there is an answer. The answer actually, how do you identify the market for your business idea? And then share your thoughts. This is some given answer. So to identify the market for your business idea, you can look into industry information. In researching the industry, you look into the latest trends in the industry, you compare the statistic growth in the industry, what areas in the industry that appear to be expanding, what areas are declining, what we call sunset industry. Is the industry catering to new types of customer? What technological developments are affecting the industry? What kind of technology coming in? How you can use this technology to your advantage? And then a thriving, stable industry is key. You don't want to start a new business in a field that's on the decline, meaning that is a sunset industry. Then you look into the customer. So you do a market survey. So your market research should begin as a market survey. Doing a market survey, you need to determine the market limits or physical boundaries of the area that you want to sell. And then the characteristic of the population within this location, estimate the location purchasing power, per capita income, median level income, unemployment rate, population, and so on, and determine the current sales value volume in the area for the type of product which or service that you want to sell. Then you look into competition close up. So combination of the industry research and consumer research, you can see clearer picture. So examine the number of competitors on the local or national scale, study the strategies and operations of the competitors. So you can, with this your analysis, you can see a clearer picture of threats, potential threats, opportunities, weakness, and strengths, or we call it SWOT. And then look at competition, try to see trends have been established in the industry, whether there is opportunity at your advantage. Yeah. So you look into, and in identifying the market, you analyze the consumer segmentation, purchase situation analysis, direct competition analysis, indirect competition analysis, complementary products and services, analysis of other industries, foreign market analysis, environmental analysis. So these are the things that you can use. Okay, this is what now I'll show you the assignment. Yeah? The assignment is also related. Need to open it up first. Where is your assignment? The assignment is in your LMS. Need to log in. It's quite slow. The internet. Oh, the portal is slow. I think everybody have access to your. Okay, log in. Okay. Lesson. This is your assignment. Hold on. The LMS is quite slow. Getting to the LMS. Okay, view the topic. Yes, screen. Okay, this is your group assignment. Assume that you are a digital entrepreneur. You are about to develop a new business or to improvise the business model. Next topic, we will cover about business model. How do you develop business model? You can also use actually the same business, but you change the business model. So I'll talk about business model later. So you need to use the business model canvas developed by Alexander Osterwalder. Next class, next topic 2 is already in your notes. You have I put up the notes in your LMS on business model canvas. Using the business model canvas by Alexander Osterwalder. Those who have been working on entrepreneurship will know this business model canvas. Yes, you need to develop a new business model. So you need to identify the problems that you need to address, or you need to find a business opportunity that you intend to venture in, write the problem or the opportunity. Yes, either one. Either you have a problem or you're just looking at the opportunity and build a business model. So you need to create a proposal to a venture capital, assuming that there is a venture capital or angel investor that when you put up a proposal, then in your what do you call rubric, you need to have this thing. table of content, executive summary, background information, objectives of the task, present problem, or opportunities. You can pick either one. Your solution, your customer segment, value proposition, channels, customer relationship, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key partnership, cost structure, and then your digital business strategy of the venture. What is the pattern and direction of your business model, your conclusion and recommendation. So this is the number. You have 30% marks of this on this. This is your group assignment. Between 4 to actually make it between 4 to 6 students per group. Minimum 4, maximum 6, yeah, per group. Then move to your individual assignment. Individual assignment, they given you a critical success factor. This is a paper, critical success factor of digital business strategy. You read this article, identify an existing venture. You look, maybe there is a venture, maybe you know these people, or you just read in the internet. Yeah, so this is a existing entrepreneurship venture that is already running a digital business. Write about it. So your assessment should be on their sales and customer experience, the organization, culture, leadership, capabilities, and HR competencies, foresight and vision, data and IT, operations, and partners. So this is what expected in your paper. Yeah. Table of content, executive summary, background information, objective, background information of the entrepreneurship, the digital business strategy of the venture, and then with regard to their sales and customer experience, organization, culture and leadership, capabilities, and HR competencies, foresight and vision, data and IT operations, and partners, and then you put conclusions. So this is 20%. This is the article that you need to, and what you need to do is actually you find, you need to do is you need to find a business. Okay, you can see the article, right? The critical success factor. You can download the article. So this is article, I'm not sure it's 2017. Yeah. So there are the articles talk about the characteristic of digital business. So they have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then there is explanation of customer sales experience. And then you map the digital business that you have selected against the experience and so on. So you can look into their profile. If you know the businesses, you can see how they do their businesses. Maybe you can visit their business. Or these are the businesses that you might know. So you tell us whether they are meeting up. This is the dimensions. Yeah, seamless, integrated, digitalization of customer interaction, analytics to customer. So these are the dimensions. So you look into dimensions, and then from this dimension, you tell us whether they are really applying these critical success factors for this digital business. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? This is your assignment. 2 assignment. Individual, 20%, group, 30%, and then there is quizzes that will give 10% from time to time. Every alternate class, and then we have forum. Every class we have forum. Forum, you just, we will do alternate, because alternate with the quiz. Then you'll just write it in quiz. You just write. Next week I'll talk about those who not familiar with my quizzes. I think those who have attended my class know what are the quizzes that I do. Same like the forum just now. But the forum, you write into the forum, because the management require me to provide your forum, and that's where you can write, so I can give marks. Any question on your group? Yes.
Submission date?
Submission date will be 21st of November. I have to edit it, because just now I tried to edit.
For both?
For both. 21st November will be your last class. Yeah. Any question before we continue? We continue to the next topic. Any question? No question? Everybody okay? But you can still ask. Meaning that next week or the week next forthcoming, until you submit, you can still ask how to do. But you don't tell me, you don't ask question how to do when the date is due. Okay, and now we'll move into the next topic. Next topic is about, the notes is already with you. It's about, I need to put up the slide. Hold on. Okay, this is okay, it's about digital business model, but it begins with the internet and then we'll move into digital business model. I'll move into the business model first so that you can quickly use your assignment. Yeah, anyway, share my screen. The topic begins with actually quite lengthy, yeah, this topic. You can see it. Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, it's about digital business model. I'll not we begin with the internet history. So I will skip this first. I'll go back to this topic, the internet history next week. Yeah, next week. Next class. The TCP/IP transmission control protocol, internet protocol, how this TCP/IP works, and then what is the application layer control protocols, internet addresses, IP address, what is the anatomy of your URL and internet value network. This I'll come back to you this next class. Meantime, we will start with business model so that you can start working on your group assignment. Yeah, group assignment is about business model. Okay, it's like this. Instead of doing designing or developing a new product, yeah, you can design a new product, create new value or services. You can just change the business model. When you change the business model, the value is changed. The value that you deliver the customer has changed. For example, with a car, instead of we having a taxi, we change it to Grab. The business model change. The driver are not taxi drivers anymore. They are individuals who have their own car. They don't have pay rental for the taxis, and so it's different business model. For example, like we used to have this Sun newspapers, who those who go to LRT, MRT station, and this McDonald's, we used to have this Sun newspapers. Instead of buying newspapers, we get it for free. But how do they get their income? So they change the business model. Okay, we have two television stations. We have Astro in Malaysia. We have Astro, and also we have TV3 RTM. Same product, two different business models. So that is business model. We're delivering different value to different people. Yeah, so we change business model instead of changing products. So we still deliver value. People can still have received the value, different kind of value on the same product. So we have taxi company without a car, Uber, or Malaysia, we have Grab. Hotel without the building, we have Airbnb. Alibaba, retailer without inventory. Inventory belongs to other companies. Facebook without content, or we have YouTube without content. Instagram without any camera, they can still provide you images. So what is business model? Business model, you can see this term was coined by Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker is father of management. Peter Drucker called it theory of business. So according to Peter Drucker, every organization has a theory of business. This theory business is actually what shapes the organization's behavior, dictates its decision, what to do, what not to do, define the organization, what they consider meaningful results. So this theory of business includes assumptions about the market. We talked about market just now. Identifying the customers, identifying the competitors, the values, what values that you deliver, behavior that involve the technology and dynamics, the dynamics of this technology, and then company strengths and weaknesses. So at the end, what the company actually get paid for. What is the at the end? What does it get paid for? To delivering the service. What kind of services do you deliver? What do you deliver? How does it get paid for? So Peter Drucker called it theory of business. Yeah. So initially it was called theory of business. But later on, Margareta Osterwalder changed. Margareta coined the term business model. And that's where we have business model. The theory of business was referred to Joan Margareta. She's a lady. Business model. We call it business model. And then Alexander Osterwalder expanded to use Alexander Osterwalder did his PhD. His research is business model ontology. And then this business ontology, he put down the components of a business model, 9 components, yes, comprising of key resources, the key activities, the value proposition, customer relationship, channels, customer segment, cost structures, revenue streams. So these become their business model. So according to Osterwalder, a business model describes the rationale how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value. So we have moved from the theory of business from Peter Drucker, moved to John Margareta, called them business model, and moved to Alexander Osterwalder. He listed within the proper structure. Yeah. So Timus 1999 called business model as an architecture for the product, service, information flow, including description of the various business actors and roles, description of the potential benefit for the various business sectors, description of the sources of revenue. How do you get your revenue? Sun newspapers versus New Straits Times. Astro versus TV3, for example, different business models. So we have IKEA, flat pack furniture. IKEA, where the customer take the flat pack, bring it home, assemble by themselves. That is business model of IKEA. Microsoft is the first one that have this concurrent license. Previously, all the computer manufacturers have to produce their own operating system. We have Commodore, we have besides Commodore, we have a few. I don't remember. Everyone have their own operating system until Microsoft approached IBM selling operating system on recurrent, we call it concurrent license basis. At one time, how many people use the license? It's not based on the software. They don't sell the software. They just provide license. Skype is a freemium model. There is a free basis and premium basis. We call it freemium. Sun, I think I mentioned Sun just now. AirAsia is a low-cost carrier. The new business model from Ryanair. TV3 compared to Astro. So it is about providing customer value chain. Yeah, so we do R&D, we deliver raw material, we provide solution, and then we combine with complementary products. We partner, for example, when iTunes, you remember iTunes, and when Apple produced iTunes, they produce iPod, they produce iTunes. iTunes supports iPod. And then, so how do you make the business work? You need to have your partnering, differences, pricing, and then who put in the music in the iTunes? We have partners with the industry, music industry, to create some difference. There is pricing, channel compensation, key drivers to the revenue, parameters of cost. Just imagine YouTube without content. Who have the content? If YouTube is supposed to provide their own content, so they provide solution. This is a complete business offering, service, channel, user. Yeah, so we have core product, we have complementary product, extended product, and complete product offering. This is how you develop provide a higher customer value. You have a product, for example, Starbucks have a coffee, complementary product. We come with biscuits, extended product. They have their marks and so on, and then complete product offering with the ambience of the sofa and so on. Yeah, so The trend have moved from 1950s where we started the Industrial Revolution number 2, electricity, 34. That is 1980s. We have first Industrial Revolution and then second Industrial Revolution of the electricity, third Industrial Revolution with computerization. We have mass production. We have Toyota, McDonald's, Ford started with mass production. We do have aggregation, Sears. 1970s, we have specialization, Toys R Us, FedEx. And then we have Dell, Home Depot, which is built to order just in time. Yeah, because consumer direct. 1990s, we have online stores. We have Amazon.com, eBay, Asia. 2000, we have subscription-based, cloud-based, Salesforce.com, iTunes, Facebook, App Store. Yeah, so what are the business model that we made? We have Gillette model. We call it bait and hook model. The model is called bait and hook model. So you buy the core product is the razor is sold at a discount, but user purchase the blade. When you buy this razor blade, actually they sell razor quite cheap, but you have to buy the blade every time. Yeah, so the money comes from the blade, not from the razor. And then we have a printer model. Of course, you know printer. You buy printer is cheap, 300, 400, you can get the printer. But buying the toners are expensive. Ink and toners are expensive. This is another business model. Customers don't buy copiers. They pay the piece, every piece printed. They say, oh, you want a copier? Okay, we can put in your office, but you pay every piece. You buy the paper from wherever you get, but every piece printed, you pay to us. So there is a meter. Sun newspaper distributed freely, but they gain the income from A&P, advertising and promotion. And then we have franchise. KFC, they don't earn from the sales of their fried chicken. They earn sales from the management. Yeah, management, marketing, and so on, branding, and so on, management. It's a franchise. Avon is actually selling, what do you call it, direct selling. Sell direct to the customer. We have agents that sell direct products direct to the customer. Amway, we call it multi-level marketing. It's another business model. Then we have dropship, we have freemium, C2C model, Uber, Airbnb, and many more. So we have, especially internet, anybody pays for their Google? Nobody pays for Google. You pay for Google? Yeah, I also pay, but very cheap. Because I have storage, a large amount of storage, so I pay. But most people don't pay for Google search. Yeah, subscription, access to the content, pay-per-view, CPM, CPC, sponsorship, affiliate revenue, subscription beta, and so on. So these are business model. Okay, when Alexander Osterwalder published this book, I have this book with me. We call it Business Model Canvas. They have these 9 components. You can start anywhere. Yes, you don't have to start with value proposition. You don't have to start with customer segment. It depends on your business. Maybe if you want to do into low cost, we call it cost leadership. You start with cost structure and revenue stream, so you can sell products cheap, and then you move upward. If you are given say a contract, you have access to certain concession for maybe timber concession, you have access to certain raw material, you will start with the key partners, where you have partners that give you concession, you do key activities, key resources. If you design a technology that delivers a new value, you begin with value proposition. If you do fintech, financial technology, but you have access to customers. Bank doesn't have this access to customer. You start with customer relationship. You begin with your customer relationship, and then you deliver the value to the bank, and then using the access to the customers that you have, customer segments. Yeah, so this is how you develop their business model. This business model canvas. So I've given you some notes. Business model, there are 9 building blocks. There are several patterns. This is how to design your business model. Yeah. So you can start with anywhere, you can start with customer segment, but unlike marketing, we don't segmentize our customer unless we are required to do so. How are we required to do so? When the customer require distinct offer. Each customer have similar offer, then we don't have to segment them, because everybody wants to pay the same thing, receive the same thing. You don't have to segment. You segment them if you require a different offer. They require a different offer. And then, they are reached to different distribution channel. Some customer go through 7E, for example. Some customer go through certain cooperatives, or some customer go through certain market, maybe universities, hotels, and so on. Or then you require a segment. Or they require different type of relationship. Or they have different probabilities, so that you want to provide different pricing, different offering. Or do you want to, they are willing to pay different aspects of the offer. For example, you are doing credit card, for example, Visa. Visa, you have two aspects. One is the merchant, the other one is the card member. Different aspect. Merchant pay by, they less off the amount, 2% or 1% from the price. And then the customer pay their yearly annual subscription, membership, and so on. And then they also pay interest and so on. So two different customer, two different aspects. So you can segmentize them. Yeah. Customer segment. So you have, if you break them up, you can have, if you don't break them up, you have mass market. You don't have customer segment at all. Niche market, segmented market, diversified market, or multi-sided market. For example, like I mentioned to you, the Visa, this multi-sided market. Visa multi-sided market. Different market have different side. Or you develop a new technology. This technology deliver different value. So you can start with value proposition. And so, and then this value proposition may be innovative, have disruptive offer. So this is what you offer to the market. Value proposition. It can be newness, a new technology. It can be customization. You tailor-make certain product for a specific need. Or design, a new design. For example, you're selling clothing, textile, fashion, a new design. Or even home materials, home materials, tiles, and so on. So new design. Or you lower down the price. It is a value proposition. Increase the price. Maybe you have brand status. It's still a proposition. Risk reduction, for example, in insurance, you reduce the risk. That is a value proposition. Convenience. People can buy online. For example, Tesco earlier, Tesco. Now I'm not sure whether Lotus provide the same online. They can send your groceries online. Convenience is a value proposition. Performance, better product. Cars, for example, motorcycles, better performance. Getting the job done. For example, we have a system that help people to getting some jobs done. That is a value proposition. Brand status, cost reduction, accessibility, certain product. That is value proposition, and many more. Value proposition. We start with value proposition. Or channels. Okay, there are channels is how you look into delivering products or services to your customers. There are 5 components of channels. One is awareness. Awareness is where you create awareness. People know about the product, but they haven't buy yet. They know about the product. And then evaluation. We allow people to evaluate the company's product, the evaluation. Purchase. That is one is the channel to purchase. For example, you sell at 7E, purchase, or you sell online, purchase. Yeah. Evaluation, maybe you provide samples, that is evaluation. Delivery, how do you deliver the product? Maybe we're using Lala Move and so on. Or after sales, how do you provide post purchase? For example, like telecom and so on, they provide agents to provide after sales. That is your channels. Customer relationship. How do you basically the most important when you do business is how do you acquire your customer, how do you retain your customer, how do you grow the customer. ARG. Acquire, retain, and then grow the customer. What does it mean by acquire? Previously you have 0 customer, now you have 10 customer. You acquire more customer, you have 20 customers. But if you don't retain, the 20 customers become 0 back because they go away to another company. That when they went away to another company, that's called churning rate. Churning rate is where the customers move to another competitor. Churning rate. Yeah, so you need to retain. So that every customer's retain, and then you increase your customer. That is expanding of customer. Growing the customer is not growing the number of the customer. It is upselling. This customer buy 10 ringgit every month. Growing meaning that they buy 20 ringgit every month. Grow further, they buy 30 ringgit every month. So they increase their purchase. So then only you will get exponential increase. Yeah, so this is customer relationship. How do you do that? How do you maintain customer relationship? By personal assistance with human interaction. We have dedicated personal interaction where we have client managers. Remember client managers, account managers assigned to specific customers. Yeah, and then you have self-service, automated services, communities, co-creation. For example, where we have YouTube. This is co-creation. YouTube, Facebook. It's about co-creation. Yeah. So, and then revenue streams. So you can start with revenue streams. You have specific revenue. How do you get your revenue? Maybe from advertisement and promotion. For example, like this Sun. Instead of selling the newspapers by New Straits Times, TV3, advertising and promotion, Astro by subscription. So what is your revenue stream? Where do you get payment for? Some people receive services, but some other people is paying for. For example, you receive the newspaper, Sun newspaper, but the payer is the advertisers. Yeah, different people pay, different people receive the benefit. Yeah, so it can be. So there are a lot of things. For example, you receive you use Google. Who is paying? You use Google search. Who is paying? You use WhatsApp. Who is paying for that? The database company paying. They are paying. And then you say, you cannot take the data. That I pay for the data. You use for free. That is what we call consideration. Consideration is where offer, acceptance. When contract comes in force, contracts come in force with offer, acceptance, and consideration. You use for free. You don't have any consideration. And then who's pay the consideration? Consideration is the database company, data company pay. So they get what they pay for. So revenue streams come from asset sale, usage fee, subscription fee, lending, renting, leasing, licensing, brokerage, advertising, and many more. This is not exhaustive. Key resources. What is the thing that most important asset that make your business work? It can be physical asset. It can be intellectual property. Yeah. So what is the value? What is the key resource? It can be physical asset, intellectual property, human, financial. For example, banks, their key resources is financial. They have money because they get money from depositors, and then financial become their resources, and then they offer it to the customers who need these resources, to the borrowers. So these are the key resources. Key activities, what do you do actually? Yeah, so production, problem solving, B2B, B2C, these key activities. And then partnership, you need to have partnership, strategic alliance, competition, joint ventures, buyer-seller relationship, and so on. So you need partnership. Otherwise, you cannot retain the price, selling price, you cannot retain your material, raw material cost. You need co-partners. How do you optimize economies of scale to reduce the cost, reduction of risk? You don't want to, at the end of supplying product, suddenly you're out of raw material. You need to, so for example, you're selling something come of related to rice, you must make sure that you have access to rice. You sign up with the rice supplier, so they have constant contract at the specific price. You cannot be fluctuating. Today there will be an increase of 36% of import of rice. So you don't want to incur 36% of your cost. You need to lock in, because today 36%, maybe next month it will increase again by 57% or 54%. You need to lock in the price. You need to assure that you will have an assured stock for a certain period, and then so that you can continuously do your production. Yeah, so you have acquisition of certain resources, activities, yeah, and then you maintain your all these come into your costs. You have costs. So how do you deal with your costs? Yeah, the cost related to a business model. It can be cost driven. For example, like how Asia works, they are based on what do you call it, low cost leadership model. They reduce the cost, and then they can break up the cost, or you can provide it value driven, fixed cost, variable cost, economies of scale, economies of scope. So this is cost in the business model. Yeah, so we will not go into patterns of business model. We'll do it next week because it's already 10 o'clock. So I'll be repeating of some of these segment, yeah, the blocks, yeah, business model blocks, and then we'll move into the patterns of business model so that you can start working on your assignment. Okay, I'll stop here first. The slides is in your LMS. Okay, any questions so far? Is it okay with you? Too fast, too slow? Yeah, Ivan, Mariam, Sondos, Zayan, yeah. Misella, anybody? Jefferson, any comments? Everybody can follow.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. You haven't gone to technical yet. So next week, after the business model, we move to a little bit technical about internet, TCP/IP, and so on. This course is combination. We have something technical. We have business. We have entrepreneurship. Okay. If there is any question that is not clear so far, any question? Everybody clear?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, then very good. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope that I delivered well. If there is any problem, you can always ask me, or maybe next class you can just still ask me anything that crop up in your mind. Okay, thank you very much and good evening. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thanks, Prof.
Thanks, Good night.
Okay, bye.
Doctor.
Yes.